Good morning and welcome everyone. I'm sorry for the delay. I hope that everybody can hear me. This is Danny, and this is the Beginners Online Trading webinar, the Trading Success Blueprint. We had a little update to do, and this is why we couldn't open the interface. And now it seems like everything is perfectly fine and we can carry on with ease. So before we hit the road, and I will begin with the webinar, I just want to explain a little bit about the structure and how it happens. So to begin with, we'll have a nice introduction to AvaTrade. Okay, Richard, you're complaining that my sound is low. Guys, anybody else is experiencing that my sound is low? Let me see if I can somehow. I hope that it's better now. Okay. All right, thank you, Amber. Okay, that's good. So as I was about to say, we're going to open the webinar with a quick introduction to the company and the services that we have. On the later stage, on the second part, it will be a bit more practical. So we're going to go through some basic fundamentals to know as a beginner. Okay, we have some features here which we are going to cover as well. Okay, some features here unique to the platform. And lastly, it will be more into analysis. I really hope that time will allow us to do that. Okay, now any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only. It should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. I'm going to go ahead and say that the webinar will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube later on. I know it's a pretty frequent question. If the webinar can be accessed later on, if we can send the version to you guys. And the answer is that you can find it easily in our YouTube channel. Okay? All right, so I'm just going to make sure that everything is recorded as it's supposed to be, and then we'll hit the road. So I'll be right back. Thank you very much. All right, so we are back and it seems like everything is ready for us. As I said, this is the Beginners Online Trading webinar, the Trading Success Blueprint. However, we will acquire some skills, some tools for intermediate and advanced client as well, not only for beginners. So to open with, as I said a minute ago, we're going to open with an introduction to AvaTrade. We are a regulated company. We exist since 2006, and we have 9 licenses worldwide. The platform that we're looking at right now is called the Web Trader, okay, the Web Trader or the AvaGo. This is an interface that you guys may enjoy without to download or install anything, right? This is embedded in the website. You just log in with your email and password, and you're here. Okay, if you don't see this interface, you should contact customer service on their email, cs@avatrade.com, or at the live chat here at the bottom left. But unfortunately, if you can't see the interface, your only way to contact them is through here. And then when they will apply it on your account, you'll be able to also do it through the chat. Now, beside the customer service, we also assign a senior account manager on an active account. That means that if you funded your account and you're eligible, you're going to receive a senior account manager that can assist you along the way. That means that all trading queries, explanations, plans, strategies, calculations, and more can be addressed by a senior account manager. This is a service that you don't have to pay anything extra for. Okay, and it's a huge contribution for your progress. Now, if we're looking at, okay, so I'm going to put this one underneath, and then we can just line down the platforms that we have. So beside that, we have the MetaTrader 4 and the MetaTrader 5, which are a bit more the regular platforms, MT4 and MT5. I'm not going to explain anything more than that. We also have Ava Social and Ava Options. The idea behind Ava Social is quite self-explanatory. It's a social media. What it allows you to do is to either follow or copy a trader. This gives you the unique ability to construct your own strategy without to really trade. Okay, you could just see somebody, follow somebody before you go ahead and dive, and then when you're ready, you can implement it in your own strategy, and that's by receiving notifications. Okay, if I'm following a trader, I'm going to receive notifications with his trades, and I can choose whether to do it or not. If I'm copying somebody, the exact same process will happen with the execution automatically. So I'll be follow someone, I will receive also what he's doing, and it will happen by itself. I'm going to take similar positions and get similar results, as long, by the way, as my balance is computable, right? If my balance is 10,000 and I'm following somebody who has 100,000 and we're trading the same, we might not get the same results. Okay, balance, if it's the same, you can also adjust it. I'm not going to explain how it's been done. You can download the app and see it by yourself. Now, other options is for, so if I'm going to quickly summarize what's happening here. So this, and that are CFDs platforms, okay? We trade contract for difference, currencies, gold versus the dollar, and so on and so on. Options is a different concept. Whoever knows how to trade options, this is for you. EVA options is remarkable. It offers you very, very accessible things. It lets you see potential predictions and so on. And even if you're a beginner, EVA options still might be an amazing solution for you. Okay. Again, this is for options trading and not CFDs trading. Okay, so we're gonna cover a little bit the interface here. So what I'm gonna show you now are features that can only be found on the WebTrader or the Ava Go. Just gonna put it down here so we'll know that it's separated from the others. Okay. Now let's just begin with the several. I don't want to consume the whole time just covering features, right? But just on a nutshell with a couple of things. Let's go with the signals, okay? As I find it extremely useful, and this is a beginner's webinar, so might be a wonderful idea. All right, so the signals can be accessed via two ways. The first way, by the way, just to carry on with ease, I'm just gonna explain to you how the interface is built so you'll know how to enjoy it to its full extent. Right now, I'm looking at the whole screen occupied by the chart, but if I want to see what's behind the chart, there are nice lists. Let me show you. You see there are two tiny arrows to the upper right. Just gonna click it. And then I have this wonderful toggle, which I can click up or down. And then I have the lists, okay, which I can go just manually and find myself whatever I want to trade. Okay, Bitcoin has been quite interesting lately, so okay, I can go manually and find myself the pair that I want to trade. Now, once I see this blue lightning icon, if I click it, watch what happens. It's gonna throw me here, right here. It's gonna open the signal specifications. I have two scenarios. I'm gonna show it to you from the signal section, just because I want you to see the difference, right? So if I click it, it's gonna open me something called signal. This is instructions what to buy and when to buy and when to sell. It has two scenarios, okay? The other way, and the reason that I'm showing you the difference, is through the signal section itself. So what happens if I click it? It's going to take me to the nice section of some lists that I have here. And in the lists, I can find the signal production date, and I can see when it was manufactured and upon what price. As you can see, there is the entry price. This is supposed to simulate the price that the signal was based upon. What I'm saying is that when the signal was produced, there is a certain expectation that the market will move one way or another, and this is why when I click it, as you can see, the type here is sell. If I click on the signal, on the view signal, it's going to show me two scenarios to either choose between buy and sell. Okay, now those key levels that I have here. I'll show you in a minute. They are signals that already passed those levels, which in other words means that the signal, the analysis that was done here is already futile. Okay, let me just show you this only once. You see, if I click in here, what is it telling us? You see, it doesn't show us the stop loss and the take profit, right? Why? Because of what I've just explained. Market has already reached a key level. That means that this signal was, let me see if I can find it. Initially, it was based upon that 0.8555, and right now it's already past a certain level. And okay, and this is why I decided to show you now that you can see the signals through here and just choose by the validity time that you want. Okay, just to choose, because it does make a difference if a signal was produced just a minute ago or it's already 4 hours past. Okay, right now, and you can let's go with this just as an example, and we're gonna expand the chart, okay, because we want to confirm what's going down here. The validity here is daily. Let's also switch to days, right? So the toolbar here looks a bit different than the usual chart. I'm gonna go through the toolbar much more comprehensively, but now just to understand, okay? At the left upper corner, we have the time frames. Here I have a thin toggle that I can click up and down. Let's change it to days for the sake of the discussion, as we are looking at validity of daily candles. Okay, and that for me to see the certain levels. If I'm looking at 1 minute scope, what I had a minute ago, it's not gonna let me see the levels that I want to confirm, right? 86.7 is not here, but if I'm changing it to 1D, then 86.7 is part of my chart. Okay, right, maybe even 1 week sometimes, and we can't see it because of the, there we go. Okay, 67.7. I can see everything. All right, once I've confirmed the levels here, it's not mandatory at all. I'm just showing you this as something optional so you can use the signal more efficiently. Okay, so let's suppose that I've put some lines down. Okay, I fetched it from here, put it down several, I match it to what's here. Okay, as an example, 83.6 is here. Okay, and I can do that with the rest of the, and I can do this with the rest of the candles. Sorry, with the rest of the line, but I don't want to waste any time on that. Okay, let's go back to weeks. Right, and once I saw the levels, okay, I think there is a certain scenario. Let's suppose that I think this is a bullish trend and I want to go with the buy scenario. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna click here on the buy, and it's gonna show me here that the take profit will be at 86, which is in here. Okay, let's go back to days. Okay, it's not gonna let us see it, unfortunately. And then I can see that the potential profit is $60. Of course, I can adjust it if I click on the plus and a minus. So I went all the way down to 0.01. The more I'll increase, the more the take profit will increase. The possible profit will increase. Okay, and again, I'm gonna cover this more into depths, but just to understand the concept here, take profit closes the position with the profit, stop loss closes it with a loss. Okay, logically, when I'm buying something, my intention is that the value will increase. Okay, I want it to go up, and if it goes, God forbid, if it goes down against me, I will have a loss. This is why the take profit in a buy will always have to be higher, and the stop loss will have to be lower, even though sometimes we can do what we call trailing stop, but we're not getting into that currently. Okay, this is the buy scenario. I could just as well go with the sell scenario. Let me show you. Okay, so we open a signal. click sell, already marked, take profit and stop loss. Again, I can adjust the ratio here, the R&R ratio. If I don't like the risk reward ratio here, I can play with it, I can adjust it, right? And then it's gonna show me something else. Okay, in this case, just as an example, never mind, okay? That's how easy it is to use the signals. You just go down here, okay, to the section, you pick a signal, whatever you like. This one is an example. We saw the key level already reached, so I'll have to pick something else like that. Then I can expand the chart, see validity here is day. I'm gonna change it to day. Then I'm gonna look at the chart, okay, a scenario that I like. Let's suppose we think that this is a sell, just go sell, and we are good to go, okay? 3 clicks away and you have it ready with the signal, which later on you can adjust. Okay, if I go further, any questions, by the way? Sorry, I almost forgot to stop and ask you guys. Do we have any question about the signal section or the process or anything that I've explained to this point? Yeah, Shanice, you're asking if it costs anything, and I'm explaining that the signals right now is free to use. Yeah, you click it, it gets to here, free to use, Shanice. You don't have to pay. Okay, let's carry on to the second feature. Okay, I'm just going down here to news, and in news, I can just filter it similarly. I have here crypto indices, commodities, stocks, forex, and all. And I can go down with the articles. Let's suppose we're gonna go with the Asian market, and we can read some interesting thing here. And then we can see here that the related assets are 2 indices. Okay, if I go with oil as an example, well, oil is related. It's not a surprise. Let me see. You see, sometimes the pre-Asia market brief. Right now, we can see that we have 4 assets that can be impacted by that, and so on and so on. You can refresh the page. This is similarly to the signals. It's provided by the Trading Central, okay, not by AvaTrade. If I keep going down here to the Globy icon, we have here analysis views. We have here the market buzz, often assets that has nice fluctuations to look at. Okay, this is how it looks like. It's very, very nice. In here, I have some ideas, and we're gonna go to the economy calendar. Okay, so what I showed you here at the top, the signals is technical analysis based. Okay, and what I'm showing you now is more into fundamental analysis. Okay, so news, it lets you understand what's happening in a certain, right now we're looking at pre-European market brief, Taiwan earthquake on the world's largest chips manufacturer. Okay, if I'm gonna read that, maybe I'll have a clue about some Tesla here and some other stuff. So this can help me indicate where the chart is going for the related assets and for what I'm reading as well. And in here in the economy calendar, I can see formal decisions, reoccurrences, some reports like CPI or PMI or non-farming payroll and some other stuff. Okay, and I can either search what I'm looking for. Okay, then I can find it from the list. And if I want to search by the date, I can click on the date that I want up to the date that I'm looking for. And I can either go by the date to see what's relevant for me, or as I said, I can just put here in the search field what I'm looking for if I know more specifically what event I'm looking for. The other way to filter here is to click on the high, medium, or low. And this is a measurement how big the impact can be on the market that we anticipate. If it's a big event that we think might have significant impact on the economy, we mark it as high. If it's medium, so medium, and if it's low, so low. And I can go by that just by clicking on high as an example. It's going to show, oh, we are only with US. Just a second. You have to, there we go. You have to filter what you want. Otherwise, it's going to show you the whole thing. Okay. If you don't want to see the whole thing, just something focused. You're more into the oh, sorry. Right. I have to first get rid of everything, and then I can simply click what I'm more interested in. Why is it not showing us? Oh, because it's on high. Let's reset it. And then again, click on the pound. Maybe there's nothing today. Okay, then it's only showing me pound related news. It seems like nothing in the horizon, or there we go. So if I'll go back to high, it's going to show me the high impact for pound. Okay. All right. Any questions regarding what I've explained so far, guys, before I carry on to the next segment and show you some practical things? Any questions about anything that I've said? Yeah, of course. Feel free, Josh. You don't have to. You don't have to raise your hand, guys. Just ask what you want to ask, and which is the best strategy to use. This is not really something that I can. Let's get to that. If you can remind me that in 10 or 15 minutes, will be great. But right now, I want to just disclose this part, and then. Okay. Of course. All right. So let's carry on to the second part. I don't know if you noticed, but by clicking here on the Ava trade, there's a question here by Jennifer. The news can help in the signal section if we buy or sell. That, yes, exactly. That, thank you. That's actually something I might want to mention. What Jennifer here is asking, and that's a wonderful question. The news can help in the signal section if we are to buy or sell. Basically, what she's asking, if I understood you correctly, Jennifer, is if we can use the news or the economic calendar to pick the scenario for the signals, and that is absolutely right. We can mixture. We don't have to either rely on fundamentals or technical. We can use the fundamentals to do the technical and vice versa. So if I'm looking at the decision that I think will have negative impact on a currency, okay, and the other currency, I didn't see any fundamentals regarding it, I might take advantage of it. If I saw some news about the oil and I see a signal that with crude oil as an example, and I saw the news and I'm expecting a certain movement, it can help me with the signal. Yeah, of course. We can always mix fundamental and technical analysis. Wonderful. Okay, so let's carry on to the second part. I'm simply going to put down here the name of the asset that I wish to analyze. And presently, let's just pick something nice. Okay, so let's go with one of the commodities. Get a lot of requests to show you guys the US market, but the US market is now closed. Let's go with agriculture. And how is coffee looking like? Okay. Let's see the days. Oof. That's very exciting. Okay. All right. Let's get rid of that. We have another question by Rainer. How long can you use the demo account? Is it possible to trade indices, commodities, cryptos, forex, leverage options in the demo? Are the order fees in the demo is the same as the real account? The answer to your question, Rainer, is 4 yeses out of 5. And the reason is the demo for options is a demo for options account. The CFDs demo account is a CFDs demo account. It makes sense. The question that you asked about trading those things, commodity, crypto, forex, leverage is something embedded in our system. You see I have a leverage. I haven't picked it. It's in the system already. So let me just write it down, okay? So everybody can see your wonderful question. I hope that everybody can see Rainer's question, right? In other words, what I'm telling you is you can make a demo account for whatever you want, and then you can trade accordingly. If it's a demo for options, so demo for options, and CFDs for CFDs. Now, what you said about crypto and those things, it's depending on your account's definition. Every account has its regulation and what it can and can't trade on it. Okay, and the leverage is same. Okay, depends on the regulation and the region that you're in. You see, the leverage is already in the system. I haven't choose to have this leverage. Okay, I hope it helped. Okay, now we are looking at coffee. We are looking at coffee now. Just a second. Seems like coffee is in a very interesting point. Just wonderful. Okay. We're simply going to put down here coffee, nothing too crazy. Coffee C, right? And we're going to go by the TTMU agenda. So we'll have target time, movements in units. And just to understand the logic behind what we're doing here, to construct a position, I need a few fundamentals to rely on. I can't just go blindly. I mean, I can, right? Can think, look, guys, the market is bullish, right? Bull lift his opponent to the air, so the market is going up. Bearish, it's the same as a bear slam as opponent to the ground. So we have bearish is going down, bullish is going up. I can tell you guys, this looks to me like a buy, right? I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, roughly 4 candles going up beside those 2 very interesting candles. Let me put a rectangle around it because I might want to show you something about it in a minute. Okay, actually, let's leave it this way. Right, so I'm looking at some couple of green candles. That doesn't seem bad. I can think that this is a buy. Now, if I'm telling you guys that this is a buy and I don't specify what price to what price, and I'm just telling you it's going up, right? Because the market goes up and down and it's changing. Let me show you. We're going to go back to 5 minutes candle because I just want to show you, right? This is a time frame. This is a time frame of approximately, let's go from here, right? Yeah, so this is 2 hours. Look how many changes there are. Look how many changes, yeah? Up and down, up and down, up and down. So if I just tell you up, could be up, and then the following 5 minutes, it's going to be down, right? So finding only the direction without the analysis, right? This is a lot of people interesting perception. So we have buy and sell, right? But the buy and the sell change anyway, right? So for me to buy something now, it might be going up for maybe, I don't know, $1 or half a dollar, but it might change. So I also need to do the analysis. I hope it makes sense. And then to determine what kind of length I'm aiming for. Now, how will I know if I'm aiming for maybe 200 to be at, let me go back to months just a second. Maybe I need this 200 to become 205, or maybe I want it to be in here, 235, right? How will I know where I should aim for, guys? How will I know? Anybody has any idea? Okay, support and resistance. Thank you, Sigawa. It's very interesting. Okay, Jennifer, also previous resistance. Okay, but at the end of the day, I will not know. Let's suppose that I'm going to go with a buy now. Will I know how much I can make, how much I can lose? Will I know anything? I can just go with the direction, right? I need to somehow design my steps in this way to design my position, and hopefully with that to design my strategy. So to begin with, I can set a certain target and say, listen, I want to make $1,000. Okay. And I also have to schedule the time, because if I make $1,000 in a year, or I make $1,000 in a month or a week, this $1,000 has completely different meaning, right? You make it in a week, you make $4,000 a month. You make it in a month, you make $12,000 a year. So it needs to A, match my ambitions, and B, match the chart. So if I'll know, okay, I'm planning to make $1,000 in a week, let's suppose, and I am, that's completely fine, Colin. As I have explained in the beginning, the webinar is recorded anyway, and you can just carry on with ease and see it when the recorded version is uploaded to our YouTube channel. Okay, now, okay, so as we saw, this is very simple, right? So we have target time movements in units, we have a buy and a sell scenario, just like the signals, and we are now hoping to get some idea of what's happening with coffee. Okay, now we set the target, so we will have some kind of an idea what we're planning to do here. We want to, hopefully you want to accomplish this in a week. Still, we don't know how well it will go, but let's see. Okay, now we've reached the point where, as I said, up or down without a specify to what price is pretty futile. The reason is the market is shifting every minute. Look what's happening, up and down, up and down. So just the direction doesn't mean anything. Okay, now, if I am looking at weekly candles and I have a reason to believe coffee has just a several more dollars higher, the reason is it has a resistance here, it has a resistance here, and it has a resistance here. Now, the first resistance is approximately $3 away, $5 away, and $20 to $6 away. Okay. Colin, oh, well, you're complaining about the sound, but it seems like if you have no sound, you won't be able to hear me trying you to check your site. So I have to type it down for you. I hope it helps. As I said, so, okay, so we have resistance will be the upper line. We have several points of resistance. I'll show you why I'm pointing it this way. So this is, as we said, this is the first one. Come on, it's messing around with me. I have to, maybe I'll expand it. There we go. Okay, yeah, perfect. That's good. Right, so we have some points. There we go. You see, there's some points that it gives me a reason here to believe that coffee has still some dollars to go up. Okay, now if, for instance, I want to make $1,000, I'm looking for $5 up. Let's suppose that I'm looking for 205 and I wish to confirm it. Now I'm gonna go back to weeks. It's not, unfortunately, it's not a point that I can see. Let's see if I can somehow show it to you this way. No, it's not gonna let us see it. It's not gonna let us. And unfortunately, I think let's go with the sell scenario. We can still do this, by the way, because I have a reason to believe it might turn around, like happened here. Okay, and then it turns around and it can go down. Okay, maybe it will take it a little longer, but that's fine. And let's see if $5, I assume it will go a little higher to 200. So from there, I'm going to measure $5 down. Just going to correct it 195. Okay, so if I don't have to click and drag and then to mess around with the numbers, I can just change it from its coordinates, just placing it anywhere, clicking on it, changing it to what I want. Also paint it in green. I'm going to change from buy to sell, and I'm going to change the lot size to the bare minimum to start making a comparison. Now, I want to see that this one is valid, right? That it's realistic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to weeks. We are already on weeks. And then I'm going to click on indicators. Oh, I almost forgot to show you the rest of the buttons here. So this is the search field, right? This is the time frame. We already saw that. In here, I can change how the candles are look like, if it's a line or a candle or something else. In here, I can enable the Corsair and analyze manually by pointing on the candles. In here, we have the indicators, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And in here, we have this is less relevant for now. In here, we have all kind of lines. Here, we're going to go with indicator. We're going to apply AVE for ATR. And then I'm going to click and drag it to the chart. And in length, I'm going to change, this is how many candles it analyzes, right? So I'm going to change this to 7 because I don't want to go 14 weeks backward. I don't need that. Okay, this is way too long, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is pretty much what I want. I'm going to change it to yellow and keep it on wielders as we don't need simple exponential overweight. Click on save, and then I see that coffee has tendency to move $10 per week. So me taking $5 away is actually more than doable. According to the ATR, it can move double than that. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put $5. Again, the reason is this is the price difference I'm looking for, right? So this will simulate my entry. Okay, 200. So I can also confirm it and click on execute when price hits and place 200. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a take profit. And we set a take profit. What it does is it closes the position with a profit, right? So I'm going to put here 195. And I am going to see that for 10 coffee units, 10 coffee units over $5 difference gives me $50. Okay. All right. This is less relevant for now. Okay. And right now we have a length that makes sense. We know we're aiming from here to here. No problem. Now, out of the 4 ingredients, we have fulfilled 3. Target time and movements. We are still missing the units here, the lot size. So let's discover what's the lot size necessary to make 1,000 with $5 per unit. So one of the ways that I can do it, you see it says here 50. I can just click on the lot size until I reach to 1,000. Okay. Right, I can either do it this way or I can simply go 1,000 divided by 5 equal 20, or in other words, target divided by movements equals units. Yeah, very simple. Okay, so we're gonna put here 20, and underneath we're gonna add just a little segmento, which will be this one. Okay. And let's simulate also the stop loss to be the same length, vice versa. Therefore, 205, and let's put this as a minus. Now, unfortunately, out of a balance of 10,000, 1,000 stands for 10% exposure. Therefore, this is something that I might find unacceptable, right? 10%. So how do I adjust it to 5? I think it will be 200. Elmar, this is a very good guess, but as I have explained, using this equation lets you see precisely what can be the, oh, just a second. Oh, 200. Yeah, thank you for correcting me. Thank you for correcting me. This is why, see, you must use a calculator for that. See, if I do this, you are absolutely right. I should have done it. See, I always do it in my head sometimes. And I could also look in here. By the way, I could also look in here and it shows me 200, right? Let me explain to you why it's 200 and not 20 as it shows here. Because don't get confused, this is the lot size. For coffee, one lot equals 1,000, okay? One lot stands for 1,000. This is why 0.2 is really 200 and not 20 as I said. Okay, thank you, Elmar. Okay, I can also confirm it by clicking on instrument details, and in here it tells me that the lot size is 1,000. Okay, 1,000, as you can see. This is why, oh, it resets the whole thing, never mind. Yeah, we're gonna bring it back in a second. Right, very, very straightforward and a useful technique to simply, all right, we have 1,000 up and 1,000 down, and we assume that 1,000 is a little too much out of an account of 1,000. It's not a ratio that we like, and we would like to adjust it to half. Therefore, the 10% in my eyes should be 5 as an example. Now I can go about it with two ways. One is I cut my lot size to 100 and then I can gain or lose 500. But if I want to keep it this way, I can simply get my stop loss $2.50 instead of $5 away, which gives me, oh, something here does, oh, yes, you gotta watch it sometimes, otherwise it might confuse you. Okay, so as you can see, this brings me down to 500, and therefore our ratio just changed to 1,500 potential loss from 1,000 and 1,000. Very, very easy, very, very straightforward. There is almost nothing to it. Let me just add another thing here, just so you'll know how much you're using and how much is necessary for you to maneuver, right? So we have something called price per unit. This will be the price presented here. Multiply units or lot size, as we already saw. That equals value. Therefore, 200 times 200 equals 40,000. Okay, I don't have to know it by heart. Okay, I can use a calculator if you guys want to see how it's been done, but it's written here value anyway. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, and that's our value, as you can see. And we have the leverage multiplies buying and selling. Okay, leverage in this case is 1 to 10. As you can see, 1 to 10. And because it's multiplying me by 10, I can simply divide the I can divide a value by 10. Therefore, okay, and that also that also needs to be this way. Value divided by leverage equals margin impact. Okay, margin impact equals necessary amount to open position. This is not the balance, guys. This is not the balance. I get this confusion a lot when people are asking if the necessary balance is this or that. That's not the point. The point is you need a valuable margin, not the balance, the margin. The balance doesn't change when your positions are executed. It only changes when the positions are closed. What's going to change is the equity. If, for instance, I took a position and I'm making another 1,000 for the sake of the discussion, the equity will show it to me right away. The balance only if the positions are when it was after it was closed. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Okay, this is let's see. Do we have any questions, guys? I'm sure there are questions regarding either the process, the equations, anything here, anything regarding that. With missing this from the beginning, where is the reply stored? Colin, as I said a few minutes ago, or maybe a bit more than a few minutes ago, it will be uploaded to YouTube later on. So you can just see it in our channel, the recorded version, hopefully even later on today. Okay? Any more questions, guys? Can you give us a cool tip? All right, Josh, thank you for reminding me. You wish to receive a cool tip for a strategy. Okay. It's not let me look at the chart just a second. I don't often I don't go by giving tips for strategies, but I guess it's not a bad way to describe it. Okay. So first of all, the best tip that I can give you is to get a good recognition about the fundamentals. You'll have an explanation why the market is moving this way or another. But let's put aside right now the fundamentals, even though it's nearly impossible. We do understand that coffee here is experiencing something, otherwise it wouldn't reach such nice levels. Okay, if you want a tip for a good strategy, is to always make a comparison, the price that you're aiming for versus the times that it's been across versus the time that you're expecting it to get to. Hang tight, hang tight. Okay, I'm going to repeat that just with a quick explanation. Let's suppose that I believe coffee to get to here. Okay, we already understand. By the way, I'm looking at months, not weeks. Okay. If I'm expecting coffee to get to here, and I'm going to put the timeline here just to know, okay, just to have a certain idea, maybe, because again, nobody can guarantee anything. I'm just quickly looking at the dates here, right? Can you tell me roughly, you don't have to be precise, can you tell me roughly how frequent coffee passed? Let me place it. Let me place it. I think it was 2057 or 258. Never mind. We're not going to be picky about it because we don't have a lot of time anyway. Yeah, can you just tell me how frequent coffee passed 205 for roughly 2 years, a year and a half? Can you tell me how many times and how frequent was it? Between a range of 6 months to a quarter. Close to 6 months. Okay. So if I'm looking at those ratios, and I understand that something here potentially can push it above the resistance. Let me just show you several more assets. Okay. Just quickly changing it for months. Yeah. This is already on months. Okay, let's bring up also NASDAQ. Okay, this is also months. Okay, so we understand that two commodities versus NASDAQ. As you can see, NASDAQ used to be very high for looking at the previous prices. Okay, and we see that, let us go back to coffee. And we see that it's been a while since coffee has passed those levels, right? We understand that. If I can find something fundamental that will justify my buy, let's suppose that I'm going to go with the buy now. I have a reason, okay, to buy and to expect a very nice movement. Again, if I find a fundamental reason, it might be a good example for me to take a buy. From the other way around, if I go to the fundamentals, we already understood how to do it, right? Through the news section, through the economic calendar, and then I can follow. I can even Google. Guys, there is no need to be shy about searching things and just finding the articles. And we have an amazing webinar by Mr. Frey, Troy Frey. He's showing how to use fundamental analysis in a remarkable way. And if you can create a mixture between support and resistance and the fundamentals, and you have the reason and the idea how it moves, then you're in a much better place than just going randomly without doing anything, right? So one of the ways, as I have showed just now, is to just compare how frequent coffee went across those levels. If, for instance, I'm looking at something that doesn't show such a, okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, this those levels. Yeah, I'm looking at some very basic range here, right? Approximately $30. See every day here. There's nothing crazy about that, right? It's been across those prices almost every couple of days. There's nothing crazy here, not like coffee. We saw coffee have reached a new not a new level, but a level that it hasn't been for a few good months. So to find a good entry for an amazing buy or an amazing sell, and you're looking at support and resistance, again, it needs to be mixed with the fundamentals, but it's a nice way to go around it. Of course, there's many more layers to what I'm saying, and to know how to trade just from this tip and to make money, it's very difficult. But it's it's an idea how to begin with, guys. Unfortunately, Josh, I hope that I helped you somehow. I'm sorry that I didn't have any more time to to expand, but I hope that this is a good cool tip like you asked. Okay, so guys, unfortunately our time is up for today. I hope that everybody enjoyed. I wish you all fruitful week.